Good morning and happy Wednesday. I am so honored to be here and excited for today's topic. My name is Robin Lee, and I've been a medical intuitive for over 32 years. I love my job. I get to work with people and travel all over the world doing what I love. And I am so blessed to be able to sit here and share some information with you on Wednesdays every single week to inspire healing, more joy, and more connection in your life. I hope this finds you doing very well. And I am excited to talk today about our body symptoms. So it is very common for me to hear people calling me or emailing me or messaging me through my website or social media, wherever, and saying, I've got headaches and I can't get rid of them. I've got, cramps and I need to get rid of them. I'm so exhausted and I don't know why. I just don't like this. I need to fix this. And my first advice to any single person I work with is to listen to what their body is trying to tell them. And that's my job. My job is to listen to what your body is trying to tell you. If you have headaches, if you have menstrual problems, if you've got any kind of health conditions going on, if we would think instead, what's my body trying to help or show me, instead of what's wrong with my body, it would be a remarkable shift in consciousness and personal responsibility and respect that we would hold for our bodies. But I guess this is the thing, is we have an agenda in our brain of what we want to do in a day and the idea of how we want to feel. But I guess a lot of us don't know how to take care of ourselves in a way to get that outcome. But we also don't necessarily want to make changes. And in order to allowing our body to heal and allowing our body to feel more balanced, we have to listen. We have to pay attention. And we need to be curious about why our body is doing this, because our body we live in, right? So it's kind of like if you live with somebody and they're going through something, there's going to be an impact on you if they're going through it, because they're going to be more tired or crabby or angry or sad or frustrated. And people affect us, right? Like what people do in our lives affect us, period. We can try for that not to happen, but that's not normally the best strategy. It's the same thing with our own body. Our choices affect how our body feels. So if you're overweight, if you're not getting good sleep, if you're noticing, you get headaches or you're anxious or you're sad or you're constantly feeling kind of achy or whatever it is that you happen to be going through, I want you to remember this, that your body is trying to talk to you about something. It's a good idea not to try to silence it. It's a good idea to try to pay attention to what it's telling you. That's my job. My job is to be a voice and an advocate for people's bodies and help them understand that our actions and our choices affect the health of our bodies. You can't really separate so much from it, and most of us are very detached from our physical bodies. We take them for granted, right? It's very common for me to hear as people start to age, as people start to hit menopause, that their body just gains weight and they just get tired and they can't really remember. They're really forgetful, and it's like they just don't feel the same, and that's just normal. There's so much to say for what we personally believe, and there's so much to be curious about why we believe what we believe. Is that what you want to experience for yourself? I have a client right now that comes to mind. She's 92 years old and she does belly dancing every single day. Most people that I know that are 50 don't even have the energy to do belly dancing every single day. One of my first mentors was in her late 70s when I started practicing and learning some of her work. And she would hike faster and steeper than me. She would go up into her fruit trees where I lived. She'd go into her fruit trees, climb up into them, and she'd get her fruit in this little tiny pouch. I would be afraid to go up there. I couldn't walk as fast as she walked. And I was barely 20 years old at the time. She knew how to live in alignment with herself. She understood that her body was guiding her and sharing with her the impact that her lifestyle choices were creating for her. And that's what I'm really begging you today to think about. You need to be on your body's team because you live in your body, right? If you don't shift that focus into my body is my friend and it's trying to tell me how I'm relating to stress or pressure or my beliefs or my thoughts or my diet, which is huge for a lot of people. My body's just trying to give me feedback. If we don't pay attention to that, how would you expect to feel good? This is something that's a new idea for a lot of you. It's something you guys haven't really thought about. Your lifestyle is directly impacting the quality of your health. How often have you personally gone to the doctor and they've told you, get some rest, it's just stress? It's not just stress. Stress is your body's way of communicating something is off, something doesn't feel right, something doesn't feel okay to you inside. Are you honoring that? Are you paying attention to that? Are you connecting into that? Are you making changes to adjust that for yourself? Or are you popping up open a bottle of wine or a bag of cookies? Or are you exhausted in the afternoon and you're like, that's just normal. There's nothing normal about being tired in the afternoon. It's normal if you're not getting your needs met. It's normal if you're not doing what you love. It's normal if you're just used to being on autopilot. Sometimes the body gets tired of the way we are. Do you hear my verbiage there? Our bodies get tired of the way we're taking care of it. Gets exhausted by the lifestyle that we choose to live. Are we living enough joy? Are we living in a high enough connection? How often do you get home from work and say, oh my God, I've had such a stressful day. And again, you grab a beer or you grab a bottle of wine. I'm not saying don't drink, but I'm saying be really conscious of when you're saying, I'm feeling stressed. I'm having a stomach ache. Why is my body responding to like that? What happened? What is it reacting to? It's paying attention to something. Is it the news you're watching? Because when your stomach hurts, that means it's creating an acidic reaction. It's creating stress in the body. How many times have you heard the word stress, inflammation, causing health issues? What causes that? Most people don't even talk about it. You have to talk about it if you want to heal. Most people get ruffled up when they hear what I'm about to say. Wouldn't be surprised if I got a couple of negative comments below. I've gotten to the point in my practice where before I used to care a lot about what people thought. I don't care so much anymore. I'm not saying I'm going to be cruel or mean or not compassionate when I'm speaking, but to silence my voice because I'm afraid of hurting somebody's feelings, it's not okay. It's time to wake up. My heart is sad to watch people get sick. My heart is sad for people to hear. I hear surprise in people's voice when they learn that their body is just giving them messages about how they're caring for themselves and the quality of life they're living. They're surprised to know that that impacts the quality of their health. So if that surprises people and that makes them upset, I feel like at this point in time, I'm grateful to show up and push those buttons in people to make them start thinking about it and push back. It's okay to push back. It's okay if you don't like the message. But the truth is your body's health has a direct correlation to your mental habits, your physical habits, your emotional habits, your spiritual habits. Your body is in alignment one way or another. So if you're thinking, well, it can't be in alignment because I feel bad, the question is, well, what is it that it's in alignment with? What is making it feel bad? Have you taken the time to explore? Have you taken the time to honor? Have you taken the time to pay attention? And potentially, have you taken the time to change? Most of us just don't want to be inconvenienced. It's a big problem in the healing process. I'm intrigued by that all the time. People pay me to spend an hour and 15 minutes on the phone with me. And most of those conversations will require change to get the outcome that they're wanting to. My first question is always, what would you like to receive from our session? What's going on? Before I work with someone, I ask them for a list of medications and supplements they're taking. I ask them to jot down their diet a little bit to give me a heads up of how they're currently taking care of themselves. And I ask them, like, what symptoms do they have? What health conditions do they have? And most of the time, all of them are interconnected in one way, shape, or form. This is a really important reminder to all of you. Stop silencing your body. Give yourself space to learn how to communicate with your body. Give yourself space to remember that you can have a relationship with your body. If you ignore your wife or your husband all the time, they are going to get upset. Your body is no different. Your body has all kinds of symbolisms with how you're living your life. It has so much memory it stores. It has so many beliefs it stores. And then on a practical level, it has so much about how it stores what you choose to eat, how you choose to care for yourself, how you choose not to care for yourself. It holds so much information. It's so resilient. So before I go today, I'm going to ask you to take a big deep breath. Whether or not you like what I said in this video, and exhale out. And take another breath. And exhale out. One more. Little longer hold. And exhale out. I want you to thank your body for tolerating you and your actions and your habits, and for being as resilient as it is, and for honoring you and your choices as much as it has. Most of you watching this, your body is tapped out in certain ways and it needs some changes. And those changes will create more vitality in your life, more harmony in your body, and much definitely a higher level of intuitive wisdom and definitely physical health. If you're willing to start paying attention, you will start to get answers. If you're willing to pay attention and honor the fact when your body doesn't feel well, ask yourself why. Ask yourself, what might it be connecting to? What might it be responding to? You're going to notice a very different feeling inside of your body. And that is a feeling of starting to have connection with yourself and honoring yourself. So if you're wanting to work on self-worth and you're wanting to work on courage and things of that nature, this is kind of where you got to start. Because if you're wanting to be heard in your life, but you're not hearing yourself, it's a little hard to make that happen. A lot of you are into manifesting. A little hard to manifest what you don't do for yourself. This is a time to learn to honor your body, your mind, and your spirit. Know that when your body feels off or out of balance, it is for a reason. Instead of covering it up when you're feeling anxious with a cookie or a cup of coffee, or feeling exhausted and having a cup of coffee or a glass of wine to kind of try to relax you and reset you, try to ask your body what it genuinely needs. And if the idea is relaxation, what kind of things can you do to create a higher level of integrated relaxation instead of doing things that potentially cover up a symptom in your body? These symptoms are very minor for most of you, and most of us have normalized these symptoms. These symptoms are wake-up calls. These symptoms are wake-up calls. They're wake-up calls that if you don't deal with, will become bigger health issues down the road. They will. Again, I know this isn't going to make you happy to hear it, and today it's okay to me because I'd rather just share with you the truth of the situation. If you eat a plate of pancakes and you're exhausted, there's a reason for that. Don't just say, oh, and then have a cup of coffee and balance it out. There's a reason for that. Pay attention. And if you don't know the reason and the answers and know how to do that, work with someone that can show you and help support you so that you can heal and you can create more joy and vitality for yourself than you ever have. Now you might think it's not a big deal. I just had menstrual cramps and I can just take Advil for a while. Okay. Until it becomes something bigger. And most of the time it does for people one way or another. Your body is trying to tell you something. Get your needs met in a different way. Allow yourself to explore and listen. And know that it's not true. As you age, you don't have to feel achy. As you have hormonal shifts, you don't have to have headaches. You don't have to not sleep when you get your cycle gone with menopause. You do not have to lose your sleep. You don't have to be constantly irritable and gain 25 pounds. No. Maybe that's been normalized, but this is the thing is we need to break through what's been normalized because sickness isn't normal. Sickness is part of maybe a culture issue, but it's not normal. That's an imbalance issue in our life, creating lives that we love, lives that give us lots of energy, and lives that give us lots of awesome opportunity. Most of us have our head down to the ground, get up, go to work, come home, go to sleep, do it all over again. You only get one life to live. If your body is starting to tap and getting you to wake up, let's do this. Let's wake up. Let's do this together. Subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed to my channel. Reach out. If you want to be part of my email list, we put out an email. It's really cool every Tuesday. And if you want to be part of that, let me know. Message me. We can put it down there. We can get you added to the list. This is a time of learning how to have a relationship with your body. And it's time to learn how to do that. That's why these things are knocking on the door. You know you can feel different. It's time to learn what you need to do to make that difference happen. We got this. I love this type of intriguing interest and support and curiosity that you have. Keep it up, because that's part of how we heal. Curiosity is absolutely how we heal. Big, big hugs.